following video presentation is designed to address some of the major issues involved in sweet potato production. The aim is to provide sound advice and guidelines to farmers so that they may maximize their yields profitably using scientific methods and best practice. Great potential exists for the development of the sweet potato industry in the Caribbean region. Sweet potato is particularly attractive as a crop because of its adaptability to different growing conditions and low susceptibility to natural disasters like hurricanes, which plague the region annually. The regional productivity is below the agronomic potential of the crop. An increase in productivity necessitates the use of improved clones and improved cultivation practices. The market opportunities for this crop could also be described as underexploited. Desirable traits now being recognized include the health benefits attributed to the sweet potato, which include antioxidant and antimicrobial properties. Globally, great strides have been made to breed sweet potato varieties to meet the wide range of requirements of products for which they are utilized. China, Japan, and the United States are leaders in this area. There has been none or few breeding and selection efforts in the Caribbean. Currently, there are germplasm collections in a few countries within the region, some of which have been evaluated and characterized. Activities within the region have focused on identifying the best clones to meet the fresh market demands and, most recently, the processing market. It is important to select quality planting material to ensure the production of a good crop. Sweet potato can be propagated in a variety of ways: tissue culture, sprouting, cuttings, and seeds. Vine cuttings and sprouts, and to a lesser extent, tissue culture, are the most commonly used propagules within the region. Traditionally, many growers utilize the cuttings from the previous crop to establish new cultivations of sweet potato. This method of propagation requires that there is proper selection of the vines. The best part of the vine for planting is closest to the tip, where the chance of contamination by pests is reduced. Storage roots selected for sprouting should be free of pests and washed carefully with a disinfectant before planting. For example, 20% household bleach containing sodium hypochlorite. Sweet potatoes selected should be cut crosswise into 2 or 3 sections to increase the number of sprouts produced. To avoid spreading viruses, cutting knives should also be disinfected. Cut roots should be planted in a nursery bed that is located in an area where there is good drainage. To prevent contamination, the nursery bed should be established far away from existing sweet potato fields. Storage root sections should be established in the nursery bed, close together but not touching. Storage roots should be covered with about 5 centimeters or 2 inches of soil, and then a layer of mulch is added to retain moisture. Sweet potato vines should not be used as mulch. Water as necessary to keep the soil moist, but not wet. When the sprouts have grown to about 50 centimeters, about 20 inches, they should be cut and used to establish the crop. This is approximately 4 to 8 weeks after bedding. Tissue culture is the rapid propagation of plants under aseptic conditions and a controlled environment. Simply, the process involves growing tiny pieces of the plant, called explants, in a liquid media. This propagation method ensures a consistent and clean source of planting material. As with most vegetatively propagated crops, the quality of the planting material impacts the growth and resultant yield. High-quality planting material should therefore be used to establish the crop. Generally, vine cuttings or slips ranging in length from 30 to 40 centimeters or 12 to 16 inches should be planted. The higher part of the plant should be used, as it is more likely to be free of pest infestations and give better yields than cuttings from the middle or base of the plant. The lower leaves of the vines or slips should be cut, as tearing may damage the nodes that could eventually produce roots. Once prepared, the planting material should be placed under a shaded area. When the vine cuttings or slips cannot be planted immediately, they can be stored under damp or shaded conditions for up to 7 days. Do note that if the vine cuttings are being stored, The majority of leaves should be pruned, with only a few leaves being left at the tip. The cuttings should then be tied in a bundle and the cut ends covered at the base with a damp cloth. During this period, roots will begin to grow at the nodes and the cuttings will become more resistant to the shock of planting. Under rain-fed conditions, it is best to plant sweet potatoes early in the rainy season so that establishment can take place quickly. In areas where the rainy season is prolonged, planting may be timed so that the crop matures just as the rainfall begins to decline. Vine cuttings should be planted at about a 45-degree angle, as this promotes even root development. Half of the cutting, or 3 to 4 nodes, should be buried at a spacing of up to 30 centimeters or 12 inches between plants. Within the region, planting is usually manual. This can be as simple as pushing the cuttings into mounds or ridges with a forked stick. Cuttings should be watered at or immediately after planting. The field should be routinely monitored within the first 2 to 3 weeks to replace any dying plants. If the market secured requires produce at intervals, the planting should be staggered.